last thing I wanted to show, the amendment in the FCRA, just for your lordship's clarity. That is at page 10, at the bottom of page 10. So earlier, my lord, foreign source included. 3 is a foreign company. And by this amendment at page 11, my lord, it said, proviso at the bottom of that highlighted part, provided that where the nominal value of the share capital is within the limit specified under FEMA or rules or regulations made thereunder, then notwithstanding the nominal value of the share capital of a company being more than 1/2 of such value at the time of making the contribution, such company shall not be a foreign source. So if you are a subsidiary of a foreign company and you own even 100% of the shares of your subsidiary, provided it is within FEMA, it's not regarded as a foreign source. So even the subsidiary of a foreign company can now donate to political parties. That's why this is important. Actually, this was a whole slew of amendments brought almost together, 2016 and 2017. It's a bouquet. And by this bouquet, because that limit has also been removed, therefore, my lord, it's allowing shell companies also to donate. Earlier, shell companies could not have because there was a limit, 7.5%. Now, shell companies can also donate. You can set up, you have a foreign company which is in a tax haven. You set up a subsidiary here as a shell company, and through that you buy electoral bonds and donate to a political party, and nobody comes to know that a foreign company is now financing this political party, or these companies are financing this particular political party, etc. Now, my lord, we have mentioned the salient features of the scheme here at the bottom of page 11, but I can show your lordship the scheme itself. Electoral bond means a bond. I am now reading the scheme. Page 118. Electoral bond means a bond issued in the nature of a promissory note, which shall be a bearer banking instrument and shall not carry the name of the buyer or the payee. It's like cash. Only difference is that it's a cash which can go up to 1 crore. It's a note which can go up to 1 crore, from 10,000 to 1 crore. Today, my lord, we have only notes of 500 rupees or less. Even 2,000 rupees has now been demonetized. But here, it's 10,000 to 1 crore. 1,000 to 1,000 to 1 crore. 1,000 to 1 crore. Now, eligibility for purchase of 3. Eligibility for purchase and encashment of electoral bond. The bond under the scheme may be purchased by a person who is a citizen of India or incorporated or established in India. So it can be an individual or a company. A person being an individual can buy bonds either singly or jointly with other individuals. 3. Only political parties registered under 29A of the RP Act and have secured not less than 1% of the votes polled in the last general election to the House of People or the Legislative Assembly, as the case may be, shall be eligible to receive the bond. So this itself restricts it to only those parties. Not all parties are eligible. Those who have received at least 1% vote, either in the Lok Sabha or in the State Assembly. The bond shall be encashed by an eligible political party only through a bank account with an authorized bank. Denomination, the bond should be issued in the denomination, shall be issued in the denomination of 1,000 to 1 crore. Validity of the bond shall be valid for 15 days from date of issue, and no payment shall be made to any payee political party if the bond is deposited after the expiry of the validity period. I might just point out, my lord, on occasions they have increased the validity period under this also. And then 4. the information furnished by the buyer shall be treated as confidential by the authorized bank and shall not be disclosed to any authority for any purposes except when demanded by a competent court or upon registration of a criminal case by any law enforcement agency. So, acha. It's all right. It's not so important. So therefore, this has to be treated as confidential by the state bank. This information about who has purchased the bonds, and it can be disclosed only to a law enforcement agency which is pursuing some investigation. But I am saying, my lord, that if at all anybody, at one point the government had said, and this court by one interim order has also recorded, that there is at least some transparency in this because the company which purchases it has to disclose, because the political party which receives it has to disclose not the identity but has to disclose how much bonds they have to disclose, how much they have purchased, the company has to disclose, the party has to disclose how much they have received total. They say you can do some mix and match and find out who has donated. Now mix and match can't be done by ordinary citizens for several reasons.
Who said that we can do mix and match?
The court in one order has recorded this. This is on the basis of the submission of the government. On the basis of the government submission, the court in one interim order has recorded this. I'll show. Now mix and match can't be done by ordinary citizens. In fact, my lord, even if I wanted to find out which companies have purchased electoral bonds, there are 23 lakh registered companies in India, 23 lakh. I would have to scan of course, every company is obliged to file the returns of their income and expenditure in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website. And by paying some fee, I as a citizen can also access that website of that company to see what is the income and expenditure of that company. So theoretically it is possible for me to find out which company has purchased electoral bonds worth how much, purchased and given. But I won't know who have they given it to. All that I will know is total amount purchased by them. Now, citizen can't be expected to go through. Of course, we have found out about some companies which I'll be coming to. I'll give those examples, which have purchased electoral bonds because that can be seen from their disclosure to the corporate affairs. But I can't be expected to find out from 23 lakh registered companies who has purchased how much electoral bonds. But government can. State Bank of India knows. And because State Bank is owned by the government, therefore, theoretically, my lord, they can, if they exert sufficient pressure on the State Bank, they can find out who has purchased this particular electoral bond. Because State Bank has that information, though they are prohibited by law from disclosing it to anybody by the scheme. But they have that information. And they also have the information as to which political party has encashed which electoral bond. So State Bank is the only authority which can do that mix and match.